What's going on, everybody? Random cloud chat. Haven't done this in a while. I think it's been like a couple of weeks. Um, Maybe like 2, 3 weeks since we've done one of these. Something like that. Yeah. Let's talk cloud stuff, I guess. I don't know. Rishab's gonna join, I'm pretty sure, in a little bit. Can everyone hear me? Give me a little thumbs up in the chat. Not thumbs up in the chat. Give me a little message in the chat. Just make sure y'all can hear me. I'm pretty sure, but if not, let me know. Make sure to like this stream. Like it. That way we can get more people to view it. Spread the love, and let's talk cloud questions. Let me put a little cloud check Q&A. Learn2cloud.guide. Yeah, let's go learn2cloud.guide. I wanted to spend some time over the weekend and translate it to Spanish. 1000%. We'll see now. ZD, let's go. PowerShell. How we doing? Misha, hi, how are you? Sandeep, perfect. All right, what's up, everybody? I love this. I love the chat going. I've been, my goodness, this cable keeps rubbing against here, and it's super annoying, the sound that it's making. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I wanted to sit down and grab the Learn2Cloud guide and translate it to Spanish. Maybe I'll do it this weekend or something like that. I just have to figure out logistics in terms of where's it gonna live? Is it gonna be the same repo, different repo? But I gotta talk with the rest of the team, figure that out too. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Seriously, I gotta go to the DMV tomorrow, unfortunately. Get my New York ID, my New York license. What is this? Hold on, everyone. Let's put cloud chat Q&A. Ask me literally anything cloud computing related, or tech career, or cloud tech, Azure, Microsoft, anything that I can be of service. Let me know. Kyler, how are you doing, Kyler? It's very nice to see you here in this chat. But yeah, ask me stuff so I have something to talk about. Yo, GPS, you part of that 500K group in Microsoft, right? No, but I'm sure I'll get there. Yeah, that article was insane. I was just discussing it with a couple of friends, and I guess I'm just shocked. And I guess you can't really, articles will do anything to get clicks too. I'm not gonna say that it's true or not true because honestly I don't know. I don't make 500K. That's all I know. But I'm sure there are people, tons of people at MS that make 500K. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to stir up some sort of noise or get clicks and stuff like that, I'm sure they're gonna accomplish that. So, But no, definitely don't make up 500K. Someone asked me, because I posted this picture of my apartment. I got a couch finally. So people who don't know, I used to not have much furniture in my place. I had like a bed and the desk, and that's kind of it. I don't even have like stools or anywhere to sit because I don't really care for those kinds of things. But then I have like my siblings come over often. My girlfriend comes over, and then like I had my girlfriend's friend came over as well, and they were like, "Why don't you have any place to sit?" So I got a couch. So and then I posted a picture of the room with the couch, and then someone says like, "How come you live like such a simplistic life, even though you make like 6 figures at Microsoft?" So it was interesting. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's interesting. Everyone has a different opinion on, money and things and stuff like that, right? Realistically, the timeline from basic help desk work to DevOps with certs, luck, and good interviews not counting. What's that like? I think you could probably do this in like less than 2 years. I think that's just sort of more of like a general like time people tend to spend in tech roles. It's like the average, right? I did it in like a year and a half. I know Rishabh did it in like a year and a half. So I would say a year and a half is actually a realistic timeline. Tell them the furniture isn't on-prem. I love it. Hey Boris. Oh, we were just talking about you with Courtney, and I was telling her how you've sort of watched my videos since like I had like, I don't know, 100 subs. And we said that we're both fans of how supportive you are. So shout out to you, Boris. How would you draw a line between DevOps versus cloud engineers? I see the expectations from many orgs are choosing one person for both. Is this a trend now? So I think the trend for DevOps engineers from day one has always been such a vague, a gray area. And it's just rather unfortunate because, DevOps, the set of practices and methodologies that you implement with DevOps isn't necessarily like something that you have to, like you need cloud infrastructure for. Like you can do, you should implement DevOps if you have just on-prem, hybrid, cloud, whatever it might be. And it is on its own an entire career because you think you have like, infrastructure as code, you have continuous integration, continuous deployment, you have version control, you have monitoring, you have like a bunch of things than DevOps themselves. Whereas, cloud is like a different area. I would agree that the expectation from many organizations are like one person for both. I guess that really depends on the team and how they carry it. But I don't think this is something new. It's just been a thing for a while. When people tell me that they want to learn cloud, I recommend from the beginning learning like a couple of the basics. Infrastructure as code, version control, and CI/CD. That way you're prepped for, maybe you land a cloud role that has a little bit more DevOps, maybe has less, or whatever it might be. So it's important for you to sort of be aware and know like the most popular things when it comes to DevOps, because there's just no way to escape it, right? You need a good 1 year at least in help desk. Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's not impossible to get gigs or to move up prior to a year. But I just think like when you think about when you start a new job, like your first 3-4 months are sort of kind of like they go by fast because of a lot of learning, right? So then if you could power through like the rest of the year, you get a solid year on the experience. It's gonna help too, right? But if you are just starting in help desk, try to work for a company that's already using cloud. Yeah, that's a good idea because you can always get some sort of exposure. Maybe you can negotiate like, hey, can I spend an hour with the cloud team a week or something like that? Or when all my work's done, can I spend time with the cloud team or something like that? Yeah. This is a fantastic recommendation. I need to get a new one of this because this shakes so much. Don't like that. Cloud Plus is a good start. I usually recommend, so it's not that I'm against cloud, like cloud agnostic certifications, but I would say because certifications cost money, because they're going to spend time and stuff like that, and a lot of them, especially like the entry-level certifications, cover like fundamentals that will work across any cloud. I would say go for one of the more vendor-specific ones. They also carry a little bit more weight on a resume. Overall, cloud certifications, I think certifications in general, except for maybe like security ones or like some of the heavy networking ones, don't really carry a lot of weight on already. But going more vendor specific with cloud certifications is usually what I recommend. Whether that be Azure, Google, Cloud, AWS, whatever it might be, right? But I think no matter which one you study for, you're going to pick up some solid fundamentals. So, yeah. Everyone, go hit like on this stream so we can get more eyes on it. So, so we can answer more questions. I used to do these more often. I find myself with less time these days, but yeah. What do we see here? Gwen needs a new mic. Don't give her ideas because she'll definitely go out and like buy me like one of the most fanciest mic booms out there. Elgato has a really, really cool one that I've been wanting, but I think it's like $100 or something like that. And like I said before, I hate buying things. If it's not something that I guess this would make sense because I use it every day, but this thing was like $20, so I'm happy with it. Yeah. You plan on posting some stuff that you're doing with Russ? Yeah, absolutely. I plan on doing a lot more content in terms of like Rust and a little bit more focused on Linux stuff. Even moving into the new year with the stuff that I'm doing at Microsoft, I want to do some more like Linux on Azure kind of stuff, and eventually some Rust, like a series and things like that, but also shorter videos. Y'all might know, I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, I've been doing some Web3 stuff. So just dabbling with like some Ethereum development, some Solana development, things like that. That's mainly just to be aware instead of actually like becoming professional or anything like that. So I don't know. My goal is to sort of make some beginner-friendly content around that kind of stuff too, mainly just to educate, because I feel like it's a space where just because it's just like so new, there's like, it's so easy for people to like provide like incorrect or messaging or uninformed messaging, stuff like that. So I feel like I want to create some content around that. But Rust, I'm really enjoying Rust. It's very challenging. We'll see where that goes. I just genuinely love command line stuff, and Rust is like perfect to make command line tools. So we'll see. Where to find the best cloud jobs? What do you mean by best cloud job except Fang? I don't know what you mean by best. But literally every tech company now will have a cloud space, like a cloud role. So I'm making it easy for her. Yeah, don't make it easy for her to spend money though. I don't really like when people spend money on me. Thanks for such great sessions, and those are very valuable videos. You rock, GPS. No problem. I'm grateful that I can provide help for y'all. That's all I want to do. Are you planning anything with Kubernetes, Kate? So I don't think so. I'm going to force Rishabh to do that. Whenever he comes on, I'm going to tell him that I volunteered him to do that kind of stuff. I think my focus is going to be more on like serverless technologies, Linux, Rust area, right? And that's kind of like where I kind of want to sort of stay and like specialize a little bit more. Obviously Kubernetes, containers, container orchestration, all that kind of stuff is very important. It's just a whole nother world on its own. So sort of diving into more DevOps things is going to be, I just don't have the time to devote more to that. Because it's also like, and not only do I like learn the stuff, I create content around it. So it's like double the work, right? It's not just like I learn, implement, and then I move on. No, it's like I also have to create stuff around it. So it's just not enough time. Maybe later on next year or something like that. We'll see. Cloud, Meraki, Azure, and maybe Google Cloud Edition Sec 601 is my lifetime plan. That's a solid line there of certifications. Because you have cloud networking, and then you have vendor specific with Azure and GCP, and the security. Solid. I just noticed some of the blockchain stuff on Microsoft Learn. I look forward to learning about it. Yeah, that's cool. It's like Ethereum development, so you're doing like some Solidity. I shared the link on my Twitter. Go to my Twitter earlier today. I shared the learning module that I actually looked at this morning. I did like one of the Solidity modules. Very cool, very interesting. If anything, it's just like something new to get hands on with. And once you like are in tech and you've sort of been around and you've sort of like tried new things, it's kind of hard to find something that's like brand new, right? So it was pretty interesting to get into that. But yeah, it's great. It's fun. It's fun. If anything, it's fun, right? Great plan. Yeah, I think that is a solid. I like when people put together sort of these like curriculums for themselves. And if you're using certifications for your own learning and like guided learning, they're fantastic. Just don't get stuck in like, oh, I got to do every certification to like show them off on social media and stuff like that. Here's Rishabh. Rishabh, did you eat? Because if not, you're going to get roasted.
Okay. No, I didn't eat. But I'm...
Boris is probably going to say something. How is the learning curve with Rust? Oh, we were talking about like random questions. I'm good. I didn't have dinner yet, so I'll probably have it after the stream.
Same here.
You were just getting groceries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked for Kubernetes videos. Are you gonna do them?
Kubernetes, sure.
Yeah, because I know you said you were gonna learn it sometime next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, the learning curve with Rust is it's painful. It's just a lot. It's I think because it's not a language like .NET or Python or things like that, right? There's so much more that you have to like be mindful of.
Hmm.
But I'm enjoying it. I was telling people before, I love command line stuff. I like and Rust
Yeah.
shines when it comes to like building command line tools and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. I want to eventually focus on like sort of like Rust, and then and some more damn, what was I gonna say? Like Linux kind of stuff, and
Let's
then
see.
some serverless Rust functions, things like that.
Okay.
So, but we'll see where it goes. Um,
You know what would be cool?
what would be cool?
An API or like a command line API that you can call with the random project thing that we were doing.
There,
So
that's
that
what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make that. Yeah,
yeah,
1000%. And then
it
you'll just get
outputs like a JSON or maybe I don't know, a
probably
markdown
JSON.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Just because JSON's easier to work with from the command line. Yeah, but that would be cool. Yeah, and I feel like that would be relatively simple because you're not
Yeah, yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
like performing anything that needs to be super efficient.
No,
Yeah, but that would be freaking fantastic. And then we would just put it on GitHub. People can install it or build it on their own.
it'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, pretty sick. Can we learn Databricks? I mean, you can learn whatever you want.
I'm not sure what Databricks is.
I think Alf works with Databricks.
Uh-huh.
I think so. I'm actually not 100% sure. Let me check. Databricks is the data and AI company. It's a data lake house. Is that what
Oh,
it is?
okay.
I don't know. You and I are not the experienced ones in data. Lakehouse, data platform solutions. So Databricks is a company, and they have like a bunch of solutions, things like that.
I'm googling as we are
Yeah,
talking.
I wouldn't know. Trevor says Wassam. Is that like what's up, or is that like something? No. I saw you were doing some Rust tutorials. How was that?
Pretty good, pretty
What
good.
were you using? Like what were you following?
Oh, I there's a LinkedIn learning course called. Let me see what it's called here real quick. But yeah, I was using Microsoft Learn
Mm.
for anything that's not video related. Then anything that I was like for video content consumption,
Yeah.
it was First Look Rust. The course is called First Look Rust.
How was it? How did you spend like a couple hours on it?
Oh, it's only like a 1 hour, 30-minute course, I
Oh,
think.
cool. I love
Yeah.
courses like that.
Yeah. It just goes over basic overview of Rust, like how variables work and different stuff. I think the comparison was with Python. Could be wrong. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then once I went through that, I started looking for similar topics in Microsoft Learn. I started following I think it's called First Steps with Rust.
There's a whole
Is
like
what the
six
module
six
called.
hour learning path for Rust on there.
Yeah. I just started with the Take Your First Steps.
The official book too is pretty good, quite extensive. They have one that's more focused on building like command line tools. That's the one I'm following.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's cool. Eventually, I want to move into damn, what was I gonna say? Solana development. But like just for projects, just to like have fun, not to take it seriously or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Because like the Ethereum development, like cool, but man, those gas prices. I bought buying the .eth today was like $300,
Oh my god.
and like my
Yeah, that's what
Solana, my Sol. Let me check right now.
I,
It's
I
crazy.
wanted it so bad, especially when I think Nadir tweeted,
Yeah,
and then Jose is also a good friend on Twitter. He bought his .eth, and I'm like, I should buy this, and then it was like, oh, pay $350 for gas prices, and I'm like, oh, I'm not buying this.
Well, it's not only that. You also have to pay to register the.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like 3 steps, and
Yeah. I'm gonna see my bona fide. .sol is a lot more affordable if you're interested in Solana
I
development.
need to buy Solana though. I don't have any Solana.
Yeah, dude. You know what? That's a frustrating part. It's like you need FIDA for this. You need to go swap it on Radium for this and things like that. And I'm like, okay, I can like move around. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's really freaking cool how you can just convert things and it's instantly like the transaction is instantly available. Like everyone can see. Everyone can go to my wallet, like look it up and see all my transactions. It's quick. It's like I had like 2 wallets open and like back like from them to pass to each other. It was like instant. I think that's like super cool. There's no like, oh, put their name, put their email, put their phone number. I think that is fantastic. I think in terms of like financial aspect, I think there's like so much potential there, right? But I'm not like diving into any of like the NFT kind of stuff or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my, because you got to do an auction for .sol. Let me see.
Okay.
And it takes 3 days. Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with.
It's mine ends in 2 days. Gosh. All right, cool. Databricks is currently introduced into my project, so I have to learn it. However, it's for PySpark. Are you familiar with PySpark?
No.
PySpark. Look at these things that we're learning. PySpark, Apache PySpark. PySpark is open source unified analytics engine for large scale data processing. Huh. Yeah, data stuff I know like nothing about at all. Like I know like select all for SQL. Besides
And
that.
delete.
And delete. No, but even delete you have to be like, it's not just delete because you have to like provide like conditions or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Otherwise you're.
Yeah, or else you're mess it up.
We were talking about this the other day, the nightmares. So I was in support, and I think when I like moved up how they have tiers of support.
Mm-hmm.
So the part of it was some cleanup that customer might request or client might request, and I was writing a delete statement. I was expecting I think like 10 to 15 rows, and it like the result said, oh,
1 million rows.
it was like more like 1,000 rows, and I was like, oh, I'm screwed.
That's freaking funny.
I'm like, what? What did I do? Like, and then I checked my condition, and it made no sense. So I'm like, oh, this is my bad.
They would just let you delete stuff like that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the thing.
But it was not easily, but like you had to go and restore a SQL backup, which was again all my responsibility now because I felt bad. I didn't want any like engineers to work after hours. Yeah, to restore it. I'm like, just show me how to do it and I'll do it.
How long did it take you?
The actual work only took like an hour, but most of it was just, I think it took 2 hours to just like download, unzip. Yeah, because they're stored as zipped in like storage buckets.
Damn, Rishabh. How long ago was this? You said you were in support?
2 years ago.
They let you delete stuff.
Cry laughing.
The thing is, like, at these small companies, at these small companies or even medium-sized companies, well, just say small teams, they'll just let you do stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like, especially if they trust you and they're like, yeah, just go figure it out, like kind of thing.
Yeah. And now the number one thing now I teach people when I'm training like support folks and stuff is always run select first and see if the output is what you want to delete.
I was going to bring up this question because I know you're going to have some insight in here. Someone's asking, realistically, the timeline from basic help desk work to DevOps with certs, luck, and good interviews not counting, what's that like? I think Boris said at least a year. I said like a year and a half to like at least a year and a half kind of thing, the 2 years. Under 2 years is very doable. And I think you would agree, right? Because you did like a year and a half, right?
No, a year in help desk.
Just a year?
Yeah.
Okay, so a year is very doable. But you
Um,
you you moved up
yeah, so I
from.
was from support to cloud though.
Mhm.
So from cloud, then it took me 2 years to get into DevOps. Um, and I think I would agree with Gwen. 2 years is more realistic,
Mhm.
just because like the first 6 months, I just got used to support, like help desk work.
That's what I was saying. Like when your first time getting, well, not first time, but just starting a new job, your first,
Oh yeah,
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 almost half a year is like just learning new
learning
things.
stuff.
So
Yeah,
it's hard to get tired of it. Yeah.
yeah. And if you're like I don't know, if you're a machine and you're able to like grasp new stuff on the job and
Which you
also
could be.
learn
Yeah.
cloud,
Hmm.
then it's doable in a year. It also depends on like how much previous, like maybe you're already learning cloud, but
Hmm.
you want to start in tech in help desk, which might play in your favor and it should be doable in a year.
Um. Yeah. And it says here, yeah, if you're ignoring, I mean, you could also get really lucky, and I don't know, luck in good interviews not counting. Yeah, if you work for an MSP in level 1, if you're just starting, in my honest opinion, that would be ideal. Yeah, because he also mentioned like work somewhere that already has like a cloud or DevOps team,
Oh
then you
yeah,
can just
yeah,
move into it,
yeah.
which like
That
most
was
places now have.
yeah, that was in my case. I think it's, as I said, it's easier to move up than to move sideways. Just because you know the people,
Hmm.
and if they support you, if they're right people in the company, and if they want to see you grow, it works out.
Hmm.
Whereas the job searching, especially I think back in like 2018, 2019, it was so competitive with certs, and that's why I decided, okay, I need to do at least one cert, otherwise, like they valued certs, and there were people who would have like 4 or 5 certs, and
Mm.
it was crazy.
Wait, even as late as like what, 2018?
Yeah, late 2018. So December is when I started looking,
Mm-hmm.
and also had my cloud practitioner. And then I got the offer in early February.
You're taking the Linux Essentials now, right? Or did you take it already?
No, I have to take it.
When are
I'm
you taking it?
more, I haven't booked it. I'm more busy creating that cool markdown notes. People are loving it.
Yeah, it's great. I did all those blog posts around the Linux Essentials. It's a I love that certification. It's my favorite all time certification that I've taken. I haven't taken many, but I've sort of prepped for a few,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I haven't taken many. But out of all the ones that I've sort of like prepped and taken, I think Linux Essentials is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, even I think you have took enough. Like you're in the sweet spot, and like you have taken major ones. They're
Mm-hmm.
not like beginner cloud friendly ones. They're like
They're not like
they're
what
serious. Yeah.
I you said you have an IBM cert? No, what was it?
Uh, are you trying to refer Oracle?
Oracle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you have an Oracle cert.
yeah.
Can we afford to train our employees? Can we afford not to? My favorite quote. Forget who said it, but slaps. Yeah, I think
Is
a
it
lot of
Michael Scott?
I don't know, maybe. But I was gonna say, yeah, a lot of these entry level positions are pretty open to training people and providing educational like content, like budgets or stuff like that.
Hmm.
So be sure to ask. Straight bugging from New York City user. I can't tell if this is a troll or not, but shout out New York. I always gotta be careful because you never know like who's gonna pop up in here. Everyone go like the stream. I'm gonna start asking people to like the stream now. That way we can get more people watching. Did we get all of these? Yeah. Thank God for RBAC.
I think Boris thought we were deleting other stuff.
Can you
Then
imagine
he was like,
deleting just user accounts like 100?
"Wouldn't
100
that be
users.
awesome?"
Or should we know what time it is? What? It's like 7:30.
Snack time.
Snack time. What's on your hoodie?
Oh, it's Lakers.
Nice. You a Lakers fan, or you just like the
I just like the color scheme.
in 2K?
The
In 2K. I always play with the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron fan. So
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Boris.
I knew it.
How practical you think it is to get a cloud job? Practical. I just finished AZ9 9.9. I'm starting a job following your cloud guy. How practical do you think it is to get a cloud job? I don't understand that question.
Like how tedious it is.
Yeah, it's like what? Can you clarify a little bit more of like what you're asking for?
Yeah, but yeah, I think you're to a good start. Like having A plus, I think it builds a really good fundamental knowledge on
Yeah.
how like computers and tech, like just in general, works. And then having AZ900, it gives you a brief overview of like what Azure has to offer in this cloud world.
He's A plus and AZ900. Yeah, I don't know how. Isn't the A plus like 2 certifications?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm just searching.
Oh, here it is. How realistic to get a cloud admin role in terms of years of experience? I mean, you can get a junior cloud admin role with like following the guide that we put together with some help desk experience, some support role experience. I think you could move into like a role like maybe like we mentioned before, a year and a half ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's very doable, but I think the issue that I find the most is like people don't want to start from like the non-cloud role, which if that's the case, I don't really have any advice because I didn't do that. Like I sort of worked my way up. Rishabh did too, so. But yeah, you can definitely pull that off. Just like the stream, by the way. Love the drip. GPS, keep the content coming. Oh, thank you. I try to stay dripped, cloud dripped. Did you see that tweet that went viral? But someone like they erased it. It was like, if people in tech learn to speak and dress better, or something like that.
I saw some responses to that. I didn't know why people were responding.
Yeah. Yeah, this person just said like, yeah, if people were better in tech, I don't know, something about the field, and I was like, tech Twitter at it again.
Yep.
Tech Twitter.
We dress pretty good.
Yeah.
Go eat. Straight away. Like.
I'm working in a school, so I think it's okay. What's okay to work in a school? Schools usually have like help desks. I think every place will have a help desk. That's a great thing about help desk. Like, there's plenty of opportunities out there.
Yeah.
I think we got these all here. Rish. Oh no, you already asked that. I like it's just burger emoji. Man, I'm tired. Where are we at with Learn to Cloud? I know. Did you start any stuff?
No.
Rishabh, come on. We're waiting on you.
I was waiting for the Friday. That's my excuse. No, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think I have 2, maybe 3 projects that I'm like
gonna deploy.
Yeah, ready to. Like, they're all good. They're already very well documented.
Nice.
I just have to have them in Learn to Cloud instead of just having them like externally somewhere. But yeah, I think those are like good starting, like I would say junior and mid-level projects.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we will have the rating system.
Probably beginner, intermediate,
pro.
But yeah, maybe something like that, or maybe like I want to be fun with it. Like level 1, I have no idea what's going on. Level 2.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then level 3, professional or something like that, right? Just keep it very casual.
Level 1 noob.
Yeah, something like that. I think the important part for us to nail with that project generator is, or whatever we're calling it, is like template, because the way the way we get contributions, the way we make it easy and something reusable, is it has to follow a template.
Yeah, I think I'll probably make it more of a. I know it's a project, but I want to make it more like a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
instead, because it's easy to templatize that, if templatize is a word.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, and then yeah, because people can contribute using the exact same template and be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, okay, I just need to fill the information in, and my project will be part of the cloud guide.
Exactly. That's the goal. Like I want to be have like all my friends. I want to be able to reach out like, hey, can you
Oh yeah,
contribute
yeah, yeah,
something here? They'll like, oh yeah, grab the template and then they'll pop in their URL,
yeah.
provide a description, provide resources and things like that.
And that's a good
Um,
point too. I think most of the people hesitate when contributing to such projects is because there's a lot of,
no one knows how to do it
yeah,
properly.
and a lot of work that they need to do,
Mm-hmm.
which we want to take away and be like, oh, here's a template, just fill in whatever you have.
I'm trying to figure out how we can do have like live demos of all the projects without it being like a crazy cost.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna create environments like our own environments like with Learn to Cloud email, and I'm
Hmm.
just like that's gonna like rack up. Even, I mean, because I just did like some virtual machine stuff for like a week and it was like $8, and I'm not saying that's like crazy expensive, but like if you had like
But it'll get
four of
good.
those projects, it's gonna like right. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but I don't know.
It also depends on the type of projects we like, especially if people are submitting they're contributing and they're adding their own projects, they most probably will have a live demo
Yeah.
too, that they
Mhm.
can be like, oh, here's the live demo of, like, maybe it's a website, so my version of website is available here, and we don't need to worry about that.
You know what just thought? You know, we could probably have like a check mark that says live demo available and not make it something uh
Uni
like
or
like that,
globally.
yeah, that has to be like you have to have a live demo, but it's like I think people you have like sort of like you know how Twitter has like the verified. If we have a project that's like live
Nice.
demo, like each project will have a live demo like check mark it is or not, or maybe a little
And then
sticker or
people
something
can
like that.
filter. Yeah.
And people can filter for like the ones that have live demos, and that'll incentivize people to have like submit projects with live demos, I guess, because you'll get more attention, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
learn to cloud guide seal of approval.
oh, something like that, right? Because I mean, that way you know it's gonna work,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And that's great for everyone. Before we keep talking about this, it's like my last Q would be: do you think it's better to do Linux, Python, and Cloud Labs together instead of one by one since they all chain together? Thanks.
Do you think it's better to do Linux plates and cloud apps together instead of, if you're comfortable with all three of them and are proficient to some extent, yes. Like
I
it
mean,
would be.
there are like so I can see you doing like create a Python script that deploys a Linux VM onto Azure or something like that. That would be utilizing all three of these areas. If your project has all three of these included, or tutorial whatever it is that you're following, all of these together, then yeah, do them all. Um, but then some might be just Python and Linux. Some might be just Python and cloud. Some might be just Linux and cloud and stuff like that. But yeah, when you compare these things, which is more similar to what you would see in like a real life scenario, a real production scenario, I would say go for it. But like, don't be opposed to doing them on their own as well, right? Because like if you have like some sort of project at the beginning that's like like the example that I gave you, Python script to deploy a VM in Azure. Like if you don't know Python on its own, it could be complicated. And you might get stuck.
Mm,
Or like, and
mm,
that could apply to like Linux or cloud and things like that, right? So,
yep.
have any advice for getting landing training for cloud jobs in the public sector government? I don't at all. I don't have any experience with the public sector government.
Yeah. The only experience I have, they require a lot of security clearance stuff, and I always didn't verify that for that because I was not a resident here in Canada. So yeah, just make sure like that stuff is good. Apart from that, um, they really do a hard check on references.
Yeah, you're gonna get like people are gonna get like they're gonna ask you for people to ask like basically your whole life
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like all past addresses, what you have been doing since you graduated and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, which yeah, always didn't work out for me because most of my past is in India, and they're like, oh, we don't have a way to verify that.
I think they also require degrees. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Boris just mentioned that. Yeah. I mean, I think the hiring in the government public sector it's definitely a lot more like what did I guess traditional
Traditional. Yeah.
hiring tech looks like. So like if that's what you want to do, just be prepared for that. Whereas like private sector, it's more of like there's a lot more emphasis on your experience. Too, they do, but I figured once you get to a certain point, it would be nice. Yeah, so once you're comfortable with all of them individually, you on your own can start to figure out things that you can do, like how to piece them together and like so definitely. I'm working with IT remote support. Want to move to cloud engineer guidance with getting into cloud architecture. Architecture roles are typically for people who have more experience. Mainly because you're supposed to know cloud in and out because you're building think of like building a house kind of thing, like the architect is supposed to know how to piece it all together, right? Not to say that you can't land one entry level, I just don't see them as common as like cloud admin, cloud support, cloud engineer kind of roles. If you go to here, we have like a bunch of information on where actually probably this one here learn to cloud.guide. It's sort of like an outline of what you kind of need to learn to get into like a cloud admin, cloud support role. So take a look at that. Before I bring up another question, I'm going to look at these. Here we go. Is cloud engineering easier than software engineering? No. Definitely don't get into cloud engineering because you think it's easy, because it's not. There's like no comparison, right? It's like
it's not. It's more about your interest than comparing two fields, and that goes for everything.
Absolutely.
Like
Apples
just like
and oranges.
maths is not easy than physics.
Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. Which field pays more and what is more in demanded?
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. I think your best bet here is to more look at like where you're at specifically and see what's more in demand. Like just Google salaries and stuff like that. It's hard to tell you, right? It's like they're both great fields to get into. Both. DevOps is a good in between. Would you say DevOps falls between cloud and software dev?
It should be. In most cases it is a good in between. I saw this, and the reason why I have this stance is because in my case, I rarely code.
Same.
Rarely. And even if I code, it's mostly like HCL or JSON or YAML templates.
Is that even code, Rishabh? Did you see that tweet
No.
today? It's like, if it's not a compiler, it's not coding, you're just scripting. Ugh, people are so dumb on Twitter. Ugh. Anyway, keep going.
But I saw this really good post on Reddit, and the guy was like, oh, I worked as a DevOps engineer, and it's been 2 years, but I haven't coded really, and I'm having a hard time to switch jobs now because he's like, I'm rusted on my developer skills. He was a developer prior to that. So, and I kind of feel the same way because if you're looking into new DevOps jobs, they usually have some kind of coding aspect in the interview, and especially in my role right now, I don't code at all, and I'm not like if you put me through a data structure and algorithms challenge, I'm gonna fail miserably.
Same.
And I also don't think it's a good measure for interviews for such roles, but it is there, and there were several other people on that Reddit post that agreed, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we didn't code. Our background is cloud engineers, and now we started looking into like DevOps roles, but most of the interviews require you to go through a coding challenge, which they like fail or are not up to date with what new problems are on lead code and stuff." So yeah, I don't know, but it is a good in between, I would say.
I mean, the reason why I picked up Rust is because I finally want to pick up a language that I learned from scratch to where I'm proficient with it. But I have no timeline. Like, I'm not looking to get into like a developer role anytime soon, or necessarily back into like a strictly engineering role. anytime soon. So I'm just gonna take my time. Like next year, it's just gonna be like, yeah, learn Rust, learn to build stuff well with it. But I would agree with you. Like, I feel like if you are in a engineering, I guess, related role, I just getting rusty on your programming skills is like I don't think it's beneficial, right? Like
Yeah,
spend some
especially
time like keeping up to date with it.
especially if it's getting really competitive. I know the post on Reddit that I'm talking about, he was applying for, I think, a fang role. So you're gonna expect that because they want to filter out thousands of applicants, right?
Yeah.
And same goes if there is a new startup that has a DevOps engineer role and they have like thousands of applicants, they're most probably gonna make it more competitive by
Right.
filtering out applicants on coding challenges. And it's a good skill to have. I don't like. I won't disagree on that. Like if you because you're more you can relate more when you're integrating with development teams, because as part of like being a DevOps engineer, my role too, I do talk to QA engineers and uh, developers a lot, trying to get to that automation where the SDLC lifecycle is like top notch and you don't have to do anything. But in order to get to that point, you need a lot of integration between teams. And in order to understand what the developer needs, you might also need to be able to understand what they're coding. So it's a good skill
Yeah, and
for
it's also
sure.
like fun. I like programming.
Yeah.
AWS has the most market share, but Azure is relevant because companies have on-prem AD, which would extend better to Azure, so they tend to go with it. But do a quick search where yeah.
Yep.
I think this is in reference to the AWS versus Azure
Hmm.
versus, yeah. I mean, if you're asking in terms of landing a job, yeah, just look at your local market. It's going to give you a better idea than any answer that we could provide, right? But doesn't your coding experience come back in like a month? It's kind of like riding a bike. Once you get the hang of it, it'll always be easy. I mean, once you know the fundamentals, at least you don't have to
Yeah.
relearn that, right? But I think the difference between, say, like coding on the side and whereas like working with it every day, it's like when you're working with it every day, you have like a real life scenario that you're working with, right? So
Hmm.
like the errors that you encounter are like real production errors, and the people that you work with are also working and that kind of stuff, and then you can learn from them. Whereas if you're doing it on your own, it's kind of, yeah, even though you know it, even though you've worked in it previously, it's kind of hard to keep that going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'll ever forget it. Like it's like,
Oh no.
picking up Rust. It was like, oh yeah, I'm like a little like,
Yeah. And I
but
think like that's a realistic timeline. Like you said, your coding experience come back in like a month. Yeah. So you if you're facing coding challenges in interviews, I think it should take a month or 2 months, maximum 90 days to like learn the
still
data
a lot of
structures.
time
And
though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is a time.
Cause that's also like, we're not just saying a month in terms of like, just like a month and you do it like a couple times a month. It's like, no, you
Oh
need
no,
to
no.
consistently be doing it. Like
Yeah.
at least, I mean, if you're preparing for something like that, I can easily see you preparing every single day for like a month or two.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, there's entire like YouTube videos about people just like preparing on this kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think I saw someone who did like a daily live stream for 2-3 hours, uh,
Just studying.
upskilling. Yeah, yeah, just studying, and it was like
Jeez.
would have a chill beats in the background, and people could hang out.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah, and then you're also seeing their journey, and I think they finally landed a role, which was pretty nice to see. But yeah, if
Oh,
you're ready,
very
I'll,
cool.
I'll look it up. But
Yeah, look it up. Put it in the chat. People can go hang out with that person. I wanted to do because I miss doing study streams. Remember I used to do like, the
oh yeah, yeah,
303 and or like Blazor and stuff like that. It's just literally just no expectation of anything but learning. I just don't know what I would apply that to now. And I don't know if I could pull off doing streams every day. Though I kind of like the idea. I want to do a month where I stream every single day for a couple of hours.
yeah. Hmm.
And I want to pick a topic. I think maybe prepping for like the AZ700, like a lot of networking stuff. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see that. I think
Oh, that reminds me, I have to do the Ignite challenge so that I can set the AZ700 for free.
what's the Ignite challenge? Just a bunch of like modules. It's like a
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
path.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You have to complete it, and then you could get a free. People should do that if you want a free certification voucher.
Yeah, it's valid
Um,
till 30th, so you still have like 12 days.
I don't know. Everyone tell me right now in the chat, what if I were to pick a topic to stream every single day about where I'm learning, where I'm studying, what should it be? Tell anything,
AZ700.
and literally anything. Programming, some sort of certification, anything. Tell me in the chat right now. Boris says the 305. The 305 is the new
Yeah, 30.
the 303, 303, 304, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was prepped. That's the what's it called? Architect? Is that the architect one?
Yeah. Azure. What architect? I don't.
Easy to. I like the architect one too. I'm not gonna lie.
Solutions architect.
Maybe I would spend like a whole like just December from December 1st to like the end of the year, freaking studying for it every single day.
Holiday season stream.
Right,
We should wear red hats.
the 25 days of live streams.
Yep.
The 305 would be a cool one. I think I like the 700 too. Not gonna lie, I like a lot of the security ones. I also would love to do like just go through like an entire like Rust, like one of the official Rust books, something like that too. Though I don't think we would make much progress in 1 month. Whereas with networking and that kind of stuff, I think we would make a lot more progress.
Yeah. I think it would align with our networking fundamentals too.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because I was thinking today I want to like flesh out our phase 1 and our Learn to Cloud guide. Like be a lot more specific and a lot more like fine tune the Linux and the networking phase. But I just need more like exposure to like that kind of skill set too, right? Yeah. So like AZ700 would be fantastic for that. And then the like Linux and the command line stuff, I can like dial into it a little bit more without like having to study again. Yeah, I mean the 700. Boris says y'all should do like all happy on Zoom or something. Like all happy. What's that?
You meant
like happy a happy hour? Happy hour, I meant. We could. I just feel like when there's pressure for other people to talk, it can get a little awkward sometimes. But we always say like, hey, if anyone wants to come on here, give us a let us know, DM us on Twitter, and we send out invitations. It's just, you know what it is? It's like you never know what's gonna happen, so I'm kind of scared. You never know who's gonna pop. It's like Omegle. Remember that video chat?
I only see those YouTube videos that are compilations of all these experiences. And hilarious.
Yeah. We would get you'll get bombarded with questions. Yeah. No, I don't think for studying it would be like productive because people will just like try to get my input and I'll be like, I don't know. I'm like literally learning this right now. Someone said, yes, please do. But like, do which one? Like what topic? People need to tell me topics to do. I don't know if is this on LinkedIn? Let me see. I think we went live on LinkedIn. I can see if. But there's no way to see questions. Or is there a way to see questions?
Let me.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm looking at it right now. I don't see any questions. I'll remind Richard to eat. What else was I gonna bring up today? I totally forgot. Oh, container Azure App Container instances. Was that it? Instances? The new Azure service that was announced in Ignite. Did you see it?
I didn't see it, but
play around
I
with
just
that too.
read it. Yeah.
What if we did 25 days of Azure services and a stream every day with a different Azure service?
That would be cool. You teach it. Like, because I only know 3 or 4 of them.
Like, all right. So I don't know many either. Like I can find my way around any of them, I think.
Oh yeah.
But into depth in terms of like teaching, I don't think. But maybe just like exploring, that would be cool.
That would be really nice.
And like things that I would never touch. Like I don't think I would ever do anything with like the data lake or data warehouse kind of stuff, or like IoT. That thing would be cool.
It would be also cool for just to like see it at the end, because you will have these 25 videos with all Azure services that you have explained.
It would be sick. Would be sick. A lot of prep work, though. A lot of prep work, but it would be sick. What's the difference between system and network admin and cloud engineer? System, network admin, and cloud engineer. Nowadays,
Nowadays I think
they're
I
like so
still,
similar.
but I still see like system and network admins doing a lot of um, dealing with a lot of physical infrastructure when it comes to like routing, switching, on-prem stuff, whereas cloud engineers. But here's the fact too about system and network engineers is they will not only deal with on-prem stuff, they might also have to deal with cloud stuff. But when you're a cloud engineer, you only deal with cloud.
Yeah. Well, ideally, right?
Ideally, yeah.
And like in a perfect world, if they honored the actual title, you would be dealing with only cloud. But when I was a cloud engineer, I was doing everything.
Yeah, that. And by cloud, here's the thing too. If there are companies that would have their own data centers and refer to it as cloud, I've seen that because it's a huge data center, and you have like redundancy built in and stuff like that. But it is referred as cloud because they sometimes offer SaaS offerings which clients or customers cannot host themselves, but has to be hosted in that data center, and they refer to it as cloud.
Oh, so it's like a marketing tactic?
Yeah, it's they would say like they're not using any public cloud vendors, but it's still cloud because you have scalability, elasticity, redundancy, and all those buzzwords.
I mean, I guess it is a cloud.
Yeah. I know. I think it should be referred to it as cloud because in the end of the day, you're just using someone else's machine, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you just read your job description, I guess before and like ask, like what they use. But I guess it is cloud still. I mean, you'll have you'll have stuff to work with. You'll probably be using like a lot of VMware. Yeah, for that kind of admin stuff. Cloud network engineer and on-prem network is different. Definitely. There are even specialists that specialize in connecting the two. Yeah, because like your networking in the cloud is different because of just like the abstraction, right?
Yeah.
I guess fundamentally networking would be the same, but there's just certain things that are it's just done differently, right? So if someone wants to grab my on-prem network, put it into the cloud, there's like a specialist or like a whole specialty for that.
Yeah.
SFTP for ISD copies now available.
Yeah,
I finally. This came out today, right? Or like yesterday or something like that?
Yesterday, yeah.
Freaking finally. Jeez. Azure, get it together. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is I saw a lot of hype on Twitter about this.
Yeah. I think someone
I love AZ copy.
And, yeah.
So simple to use yet so powerful. Command line tools, man. Command line tools. Command. I think we got all the. Just want to make sure. Oh, here we skipped this one. Simple cloud projects, ideas for Raspberry Pi. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of just like a Linux VM, right?
Yeah, treat it as a Linux VM.
Treat it as a Linux VM. Make it like your you could turn it into like to host something, right?
Host a Grafana on it and link your cloud providers into Grafana so that you have cool dashboards running on your Raspberry Pi.
Put it behind
that has data. Yeah, that has data from your cloud providers, whatever resources you're using, as a monitoring service.
Yeah,
I literally use that.
That's what you do?
Yeah, so I have 3 Pis at office, and then one of them just runs Grafana, which pulls Azure and AWS metrics.
Yeah, that's a good project. And then if you wanted to make it extra cool, put it behind like, do you use Magic Mirror? Build a module in Magic Mirror.
I wanted to do that. It looks pretty cool.
It's so sick. I'm sad that I didn't bring it here, but obviously I can't put it in the door because I rent this place. But yeah, put it behind a two-way mirror and just build some or build like a Magic Mirror plugin to display your info there, your dashboards. That looks sick. Super sick. Mm-hmm. I didn't know you used Pis at work.
Yeah. Well, this brings a new. Well, no, I don't think it's a new story, but I don't know if I told you. I think. Also, when I was interning at the company that I work here at, one of the biggest projects, or at least
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
successful
Like
projects, was
we were talking about thin clients at this point, I think.
yeah
Right? Yeah, 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 yeah.
to so the company had recently bought like 6 or 7 pies, and one of the senior developers was like, "Oh, I'm working on this in-house dashboard site that toggles between different web pages and displays like status of services." And they recently installed like 3 TVs, one in sales room and one in the developer area, and then another one in the tech support area. So he was like, "Can you program the Raspberry Pis to automatically load that web page whenever they are booted up?" And I didn't know what Raspberry Pi was at that time. So he's like, "Oh, these are like this tiny computers that basically run Linux and are basically computers, so you can program them to do anything." I'm like, "Awesome." So I just picked it up, wrote the basic shell script that would open like Chromium and in full screen mode and go to that
Yeah.
web page every time it was booted, and that was it. And then I just cloned, like, I wrote, I made an image out of it, and then wrote that image onto like 2 other SD cards and connected all 3 Pis to the TV. But it was a really cool project. So what happened is, when I was hired as a tech support specialist, I took that Pi, which was in the tech support room, programmed it to open the live stream of the FIFA World Cup because it was 2018. So every day we would come in, we would turn on the TV and it would open like the FIFA stream on full screen, on mute, and you could watch the match. But it was fun.
I remember talking about thin clients and was like, oh, those things are so terrible. And I think because we had a project very similar to that where we had to like display some static data, or no, some data that would get like. Now that I think about it, I like that they wasted so much money on that because they bought thin clients for all these TVs. It was maybe like, let's say 20 TVs, but they also had like this custom program, like some third party program that would just like pull the video data and like upload it. Like you would just have to upload one file and it would pull the video data.
Okay.
But like that cost, that was like licensing for each one, right?
Uh-huh.
Thin clients were, I don't care how much is a thin client, like $200. I feel like they're like pretty expensive, but also like they suck because they
These
like,
are the ones that Intel makes, right?
yeah those tiny ones that look like modems.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, I was talking to you about that. We bought, so the company bought that first, and they sucked.
Yeah,
they were running Windows 8 on those
Windows
tiny
8, but it's like a different version of Windows.
Yeah.
Yes,
Something called
as
as
Dell Wise. Yes, these 350. Okay. You could buy how many pies with that? Like, how much is like it's like $80?
Yeah, the Pi 4 is like $85.
You could buy that many pies with this amount, and like it's a way better. I guess just because it's not user friendly in terms of like, oh, if the video stops playing, like how do we restart it and stuff like that. But then it's also like licensing for each one of those video players. It just would have been like if you could just write a script that would automatically turn it, like play a video, and then just every morning before it plays the video, just make sure it's pulling the latest file. Like you just upload the file to somewhere, it pulls the file and just plays that. That would have been so much more affordable and like much more of a solid like project. But anyway, projects for pies, there's like so many for you to go out and have like fun with. There's also like, oh wait, we were talking about cloud stuff. You said the Grafana thing. What's another Pi thing? You could also, and I think a lot of like monitoring stuff is pretty cool in terms of like.
Yeah. So this is the one that I'm talking about.
No, we had a little bit larger ones.
Oh, okay. So these things ran Windows 8 S mode. I don't know what.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But these were terrible. They couldn't even like open Chrome.
A full PC? What?
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways.
No, we had like, let me see if I can find these. They were like 30, they're like 3010s or like 2010s or something like that. Let me see if I can. If
Yeah, I
it,
think it's like the mini PC. I think they're called
30,
Intel
they were
Nux.
terrible though. Let's see. Yeah, like 3010 or something like that. They were so bad. Well, let me see if I can find a price. Yeah, they're going for like $300. Jeez. Yeah, Asus makes Vivo Stick. Intel NUC.
Yeah, Intel Nux. Yeah.
That's the one, the USB stick looking thing.
No. I think the USB looking thing is called Compute Stick. Um, Here, these are what Nux are. You can
What?
see.
Looks like a
Yeah,
little stool.
yeah. They're tiny. They're like Mac Minis.
Oh, okay, cool. But do they perform well?
Um, I don't know. I haven't tried these. Says like 1 terabyte, Windows 10, 16 gig. Oh, these things are so expensive. It's like $800.
$900. What are the specs? i3,
Yep,
16 gigs of RAM.
dual core.
Why would anyone buy this?
I think they made it better now because I was watching a video where they have, I think, a 3060 now in one of these things.
A 3060?
I think they're called NUC Gaming something. Let me search. Intel Gaming. Yeah. There's a gaming one. Yeah, and they're super tiny. Oh, it's
How
called
does that
NUC
not heat up?
NUC 9 Extreme for $1,000.
$1,000. What video card does it have?
There's a Core i5. It can go up to $2,000. Wildly expensive.
Limited GPU options.
Let's
What's
see.
it got on it?
Mm, what? RTX. No. NVIDIA. No. I don't think it has any GPUs.
Isn't it dedicated GPU? What the hell? Oh my gosh.
I think it just uses Intel's integrated graphics.
Why
But
would anyone buy this for $1,000?
I think there is a 2021 model. I'll find it. We should got off track.
Is it necessary to know multiple cloud providers when pursuing cloud architect career? Not necessarily. You can know one well. The good thing about architecture is you're more focused on, for lack of a better word, architecture, right? And then it's more about you applying the correct services. When it goes across like different platforms, different names and whatnot. Yeah, but I think the more expert you get in one with architect, I think that's like probably gonna be your best bet. And then also keep in mind that knowing multiple cloud providers at the level of an architect is going to require some time. So if you sort of focus more on one, you might get there a little quicker, right? But yeah, it's going to take a couple of years of experience to gain like an architect level knowledge. I think I'd like to do architecture after a couple of years, maybe in, I don't know, 5-6 years or something like that. Just plan stuff out. I ran ESXi on a nuke. I don't know what ESXi is.
Oh,
Is
it's
that a system?
Yeah, I think it's the VMware. Yeah, it's the VMware hypervisor thingy. I think could be wrong.
Intel new. I think there is Latte Pandas. They run Windows 10 Pro. Wow, Boris knows a lot about hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Dell Wise IoT stuff. Oh, some IoT stuff. You could do some IoT stuff with a Pi.
Yep.
I saw someone use that as like a, or was it an Arduino? Probably an Arduino. To like use as like a accelerometer for their motorcycle. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Arduino stuff's neat. It's just had more time to get into
Mm-hmm.
it. Did you find it?
No, I'm looking for it.
Let's slap on the Learn to Cloud guide OSB plugin. All right, we're at like an hour. We could end it soon. If anyone has any questions, last final minutes to ask before we head out. Before Richard finds this $1,000 3060 Intel
Okay, here-
nuke.
I found the video, and it doesn't have links, so that's awesome.
What? Let's see. How do I copy this? Can I just copy?
If not, I'll send it to you on
Send in the
Discord.
private. Oh, Discord. Yeah, there you go. So Intel Beast Cannon Nuke 11 Extreme Review. It's a beast. This came out in July. It's got an i9. It doesn't say the card though. I mean, from the description itself.
Yeah.
Why does it not have a link to
buy it, right?
buy it? Is this thing even out? Let me see. Intel Beast.
Installation.
Is it called Beast Cannon?
Think so. NUC 11. Specs.
Oh, hold on. I think it's this. Is it this? Look. Let me pull it up. Share screen. Damn, someone's drinking at your place? Share screen. This one. Is it this?
Yeah. Tech Radar has a good.
There's no
It
video
has a,
card.
yeah.
The heck is this? No, I don't want to take a survey.
the review until Intel sent us came with 8-core, 16-thread i9, 3060 graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of SSD.
Okay, not bad.
And you can upgrade it to...
Oh, look,
It
it's
comes
got
with-
a 2060.
Yep, and you can upgrade it to 3080.
But how much?
Oh,
Oh, there's the Nuke 9 Extreme. What the heck?
I think Nuke
Oh,
9 is-
starting at recommended? What do you mean recommended customer price? Dude, what the hell is going on?
They're like, we recommend this, but you can charge
You can charge,
$1,600.
yeah, you can 13. Wow, I've never seen recommended customer price ever listed like that. I feel like just setting up your people for like people who sell it for failure. Not that that's a bad thing. It's like, oh, this is the price.
Yeah.
Like, why would you sell it for more?
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
I think I think it is to compensate with what's going on in the market right now. Because none of the like GPUs are selling at whatever
Oh,
their MSRP was.
And they never will. I don't think that it's ever going back
No.
to like you're never gonna get a freaking
Yeah. And that's
at
why they
retail.
put their like, oh, okay, we just gonna change the
so
MSRP to recommended price.
so they don't blame like
Yeah,
Intel.
yeah.
Okay, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, remember my older PC? I still have it,
Mm-hmm.
but its motherboard died.
Yeah, you told me that your brother did something or something.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of making it a mini ITX build because I
What are you
have
gonna
to
put in it?
buy because I have to buy a motherboard anyways. So probably buy a smaller case and then a mini ITX motherboard. But I'm gonna use the same components. So I think it has a Ryzen 5 2600X and RX 580.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, because
Send me
it'll
links
be.
to the case you're gonna get.
I think I'm leaning towards the Cooler Master
What are you gonna do
NR.
with it? Just make a build.
Yeah, make a video out of it.
God. Alf has a freaking 3080 Ti.
Oh yeah, that thing. I have seen it on camera,
Uh-huh.
but when I saw it in person, like the case itself is so
The
huge.
case is massive.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's pretty amazing.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't use it in my computer enough to justify a card that. I mean, I have a 2060. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And your build is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Gets the job done.
It's on the higher end, I would say. It's not decent.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pay to I can't remember, like 1,500 I think for it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good price, I would say.
Yeah, cause I got it pre-built from
Yeah, NZXT.
NZXT. Yeah, really good. I was so surprised. I literally didn't have to do. I plugged in like the Wi-Fi antenna. It's probably all I had to do. You sent a link to the. Oh, this is the case you want to get.
Yeah. I don't know if you watch Dave 2D.
Dave's 2D. I thought he does like laptop
Tech
reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the same case in like the teal.
All right, that's his favorite color.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
this is
it's
sweet.
yeah, it's his setup is super clean because he has like just one single monitor and then this tiny case
I need
which
to
is
look
like
at this.
specced out.
Dave 2D setup. I gotta look at this. I thought he was a big laptop dude. Do you have a link to his?
Yep.
Oh
Here, I
yeah.
just shared it.
Hold on. Let's put this up on the screen. This way. Nope. This way. There we go. I just want to look at it like without. Wow, that thing looks cool. Oh, where does he freaking live, in a bunker or something? Like, what?
It's his new studio, I think. But he hasn't. It's like super minimal.
I love this, dude. I want my damn.
It's super tiny. And
Where's like the monitor? Where did he show like the monitor and stuff at the beginning?
I think that's just the.
I want to see what his setup looks like. Like,
I don't think he shared that. It was just the thumbnail.
oh, this. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
solid
and then
thumbnail. He's so clean. Aesthetic is so.
Yeah.
Does he have like anything here?
Oh, here he
Oh,
built
right
it.
here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Dude, look at that. Oh my goodness. You can't get away with one monitor just with when you stream. You can't.
Oh no.
If you're doing on-screen demo, if you're just doing like what we're doing right now, probably because I've done it off a laptop, but like if you're streaming,
With demo, yeah. I think we learned our lesson when we did the container.
yeah.
Container, reactor session, and I just had my ultra wide. It was super messy.
This thing is so clean, dude. Yeah, I can't. You got to do a full build video too.
Yeah. Yeah, Fractal makes pretty good cases too. The other one I was interested in is the NZXT, that tall thing that looks like Series X.
What? Which one is this? Let me see.
NZXT 510, I think.
I like the case I have. It's like it's cleanish looking. The mid tower?
H1.
H1. Yeah, because the 510 is a slot. Yeah, that one looks sick.
Yeah, but it's still like on the bigger side.
I mean, it's tall.
Yeah. But I've heard people say that it's easy to build when it comes to mini ITX. Because you just have more room and stuff. But yeah,
So you have to like just shove everything and like that's what one thing I can't do is cable management. Because you're gonna have to be like super precise with that stuff because you don't have a lot of space.
Yeah. Oh. And
very expensive.
Yeah. I thought fractal cases were expensive too. I could be wrong.
Are you doing water cooling?
No.
It sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Fractal makes tough. Prices are tough because GPU surge. Yeah, that's unfortunately never going to change. I don't know this brand. Oh, Meshify C is my fave case ever.
Meshify C.
Sorry, we got distracted and we started talking about hardware instead of cloud. I feel like we always go back to talking about PCs, custom PCs. Oh, this one looks cool. The white one looks kind of sick. It's a fractal. Mine kind of looks like it. Yeah, very cool. Ash Paul. That's what I have. Oh, so you're biased. All right, dude. Let's end it. I'm hungry. I gotta go get something to eat before it gets too dark in New York. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a stream. I don't know. I gotta think about the 25 days. It sounds like a good idea, but I know like day 3, I'm gonna be like, this sucks. I hate this. I don't want to do it anymore. 25 days of Azure.
It's a lot of commitment.
Especially if I don't have to teach, I think I could do it. If we're just like casually like we'll spend an hour exploring some sort of Azure service, I think that would be cool. But teaching, I don't think I could pull off 25 days of freaking teaching. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll chat. All right, dude. See ya.
Awesome.
Chat. See ya.